I am not a great detective. I once spent 10 minutes looking for my glasses while they were on my face. I even nodded thoughtfully, like, yes, this will take some time. That's my baseline. So when we talk about a real mystery, one with a family and a city and 4 decades of questions, I start with humility and a little self-roast. I misplace objects. People are not objects. Emanuela Orlandi, 15. A Vatican citizen in Rome, 1983. She leaves a music lesson. She doesn't come home. Phones ring, flyers go up, and a question mark takes up permanent residence in the world's smallest country. Vatican City is tiny, 49 hectares, a neighborhood with a passport. Everyone knows everyone. The rest of Rome is literally across the street. Rumors there travel faster than scooters. One call becomes 5, 5 become 50. Theories multiply like espresso cups on a bar at noon. What happened? We don't know. That's the frank part. What we have are lanes. Some point to politics, some point to organized crime, some to banking messes from the era. Some even tie it to the attempt on the Pope's life a couple years earlier. It's a lot of smoke, very little fire you can hold. Here's my rule so I don't become a danger to corkboards. People first, puzzles second. It slows the spin. It keeps the heart in the room while the head takes notes. The family never stopped. Press conferences, letters, appeals. They kept the hallway light on when most of us would have flipped it off and said, I can't do this anymore. Years pass. New tips appear like pop-ups you didn't open. Some go nowhere. Some go somewhere and then loop back to nowhere, which is worse because hope had to put its shoes on for that. Documentaries come in waves. A new claim hits headlines. Everyone leans in. Investigators do the slow, holy work. Check. Often the check says, not that. Once, cameras followed a lead into a cemetery. Tombs opened, air rushed out. Answers did not. Emptiness is its own plot twist. Institutions make statements, files get reviewed. Another office opens an old box and says, let's try again. You want to cheer, and you also want to breathe slowly. Hope is heavy if you carry it for 40 years. I promised self-deprecating honesty, so here it is. I once conducted a full apartment sweep to find the source of a rhythmic tapping. I had a broom, I had a plan. I announced myself to the intruder. The intruder was my dryer. I interrogated laundry. That is my investigative ceiling. Which is why I won't pretend to break news here. I want to break our habit of using grief as entertainment. The internet loves theories like Rome loves carbs. The wilder, the better. Our brains adore patterns, even when patterns aren't there. Give me a grainy photo on a late night, and I will be on page 12 of a forum with a username like HistoryFerret92 arguing about a shadow. This is why we aim humor at ourselves. Not at Emanuela, not at her family, not at Faith. If a joke lands, it lands on my red string addiction. What's actually solid? A date, a route, a teen with a routine, witness reports that don't line up perfectly because real life rarely does, investigations that cross jurisdictions, periodic document reviews, occasional excavations of rumors, and a pattern you can rely on. The more dramatic a claim sounds, the faster it collapses when someone checks the receipts. Unsatisfying for cliffhangers, necessary for truth. Why does this story pull millions of views whenever it resurfaces? 3 chords. The unsolved. Our brains hate open loops. The setting. The Vatican is symbol layered on symbol. The age, 15. Everyone remembers being 15, or loving someone who was. It hits the heart before the head. Okay, let me take this scenario to an absurd place so we can all exhale. Imagine conspiracy theories needed permits. You show up at the Bureau of Speculation. Take a number. The clerk peers over her glasses. Reason for your visit? You say, shadowy cabal. She says, evidence? You slide a meme across the counter and whisper, vibes. She stamps it. Adorable. Denied. Next window sells lattes and humility. I want that office. I want their espresso machine. I want a tax on red string that funds actual investigators. Back to Earth. Headlines spike. New lead. Fresh search. Official statement. It's fine to click. Just bring a seatbelt. Ask 3 questions before you share. Who's the source? What's the record? What got checked and how? If the story shrinks under those questions, it wasn't a story. It was a shadow puppet. There's another truth under the noise. The Orlandi family's persistence is the point. Love is stubborn. It outlasts press cycles. It outlasts bad tips. It outlasts the universal shrug we do when something gets complicated. They didn't shrug. They kept going. And the setting matters. The Vatican is not a movie set with secret doors behind every bookshelf. It's offices and corridors and people doing cautious work at a human speed. Doors that don't open because paperwork and patience haven't both said, yes. That's not cinematic. That's reality. Tone check. When the story turns solemn, we slow down. We don't stack adjectives on grief. We don't make the family's hope a prop. We don't treat faith like a foil. We say what's known, what's likely, what fell apart, and what still stands. Where does humor help? At our edges. At the moment your brain starts connecting dots that never met. At the itch to say, what if, when what you need is, what's verified? Laugh at the itch. I still lose things. Keys, receipts, perspective around 11:30 a.m. when I'm hungry. But I try to remember this. An unsolved case is not a playground. It's a vigil. You don't clap at a vigil. You keep the candle steady. If you came for a neat bow, this isn't that. If you came for a good practice, here's one. When the next dramatic claim pops up, sit with it before you share it. Ask better questions. If it holds, share carefully. If it folds, better to catch it in your hands than drop it on the family. I hope Emanuela's story finds answers. I hope her family finds rest. I hope we get better at holding hard things without turning them into circus tricks. And I hope the only red string we use tonight is the one that decides which pizza place wins. I'll keep the humor on me. I'll keep the facts in front. And I'll keep a door open for empathy, because some doors only open from that side.